Hey, welcome back. You know, we're just all excited about talking. We've already started the interview without. Well, come on, let me catch you up.
Let's just jump right on in, right?
Let's catch our viewers up. Okay, great movie. You need to go check it out. So now
Let's talk about the census.
Census.
We are joined by Monica Banks and Dionne Hereford with the U.S. Census Office here in Cleveland.
Right. So
And
now,
you know, Cynthia, we go back,
Yeah,
right?
we
My
do.
husband-
They have a relationship.
My husband is going to take exception to that name, Monica Banks-Hines.
That's
He's
right.
gonna-
That's right. Monica Banks-Hines,
he wants the
hyphenation.
Hines.
Right. Monica and I used to work together at WAB
on Channel 43.
Channel 43, yeah.
Meaning, okay,
So we go back a little bit.
wonderful.
Good to have
Good
both
to
of
see
you on the
all.
show.
Thank you for
And
having
talk
us.
about, you know, it's still important to be counted. So at this point, you should have already mailed your census form back.
You're right.
Okay, because you know that's important.
That's right. Gotta
So
be counted.
now, let's talk about what was the importance of the census. Monica, let's talk about that.
Well, number one, the importance of the census. Wow. $400 billion each year in federal funds comes back to the communities based on our population. So we want to make sure that we get our part of the pie. That money is used for schools, for roads, for bridges, for infrastructure, for health care, for senior programs, social service. Go on and on and on. Whatever the federal government pays for, it's based on the population, and that's the importance.
And you know, the U.S. Constitution requires that every 10 years that a census is done. The last one was done in 2000, this one 2010.
That's why we call it the decennial.
Right.
Well, here's another history tidbit. The first census was taken back in 1790.
1790.
It was the very first census to kind of determine the seats in Senate and Congress.
Yes, and that's the second most important thing. And actually, I shouldn't say the second most important thing, because it's even more important than the money coming back, because Congress determines how that money is spent. But it determines the representation in Congress and also in the state legislature.
So, Dionne, now as folks were filling out the census, it was like basically 10 questions, 10 minutes. What would be apprehension for someone? What are some stories you all have heard?
Well, you know, as partnership specialists, we do talk to the community, and what we hear the most is that people believe that their information will be given out. Okay, and that's absolutely false. Your information is protected for 72 years. Information that would actually say Dionne lives at this house on this street will not be given to anyone, or how many people live in that house. Okay, people need to realize that the only thing that will happen if you fill out your census form is that you will help your community bring money and representation into the community. The other reasons it can vary from a multitude of things, from just not knowing the importance is the number one.
Okay.
Because when we bring it to the forefront, the reasons why the census benefits the neighborhoods, the communities, the state, people say, oh, can I get it now?
Right.
You know, can I fill it out?
So educating them.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
All right. So now here's something I'm curious again, you know, because I'm always wondering. Now, let's say we have that one Mr. and Mrs. Viewer right now who is still holding on to that form.
Well, you know, Anthony, we know that's the case because that's why we're here. Unfortunately, there are percentages, and we're starting to get those numbers in now as to who has returned the form and at what rate they're returning them. And it's very important for you to go ahead. It cost us $86 million for every 1% of the population that we have to go knock on their door and enumerate. So,
Or we
let's
can
say the-
save the same amount of money by increasing the mail return rate. So, you know, you can save as well as spend. Okay.
So instead of waiting for us to come to your door, please, you know, fill it out and send it back.
So it's still not too late.
Absolutely.
So we can still get it in the mail, postage free.
No postage required, right?
Absolutely.
Just fill it out, seal it up, drop it in the mail.
Correct.
10 questions, 10 minutes.
Thank you. And
It seems so simple, but-
questions are easy to look at. You know, there are people who have it, you know, sitting on the kitchen table. Please, you know, go ahead and fill it out and take a look. You know, the questions are easy. Your name, your age, you know, male, female. Do you own your house? Do you live in a mobile home?
Are you finding that there's some communities that are a tough nut to crack? It's kind of hard to penetrate. And
Yes,
It is.
unfortunately.
And so I know that the Census Bureau has hired a number of people.
Thousands.
So are you, right, so are you trying to put people in the communities where they look like these people so that maybe the people in the community will
So
feel
when they
more
come knocking on the
comfortable?
door,
Yeah, they feel like it's their neighbor. It's like, I don't mind giving you that information.
Well, yes, we've hired thousands of people in the greater Cleveland area. And the idea is to hire people in their local community.
Right.
And so there are what we call hard to count communities. You know, we know where they are, and we're going to continue to encourage them for a few more weeks, a few more months, whatever it takes, to complete the form and return it. So.
now I know you also have some very strong initiatives and a very strong advertising campaign, you know, from celebrities to, you know, print ads to, you know, initiatives even in the school systems.
Absolutely.
Trying to make sure families and people knew about it. I mean, whether you want to check it out online, here's a brochure, through whatever means you can get to it. You were helping people, helping educate folks. I mean, you have the great giveaways you were giving out. I mean, you got coffee cups, they got these little
Mouse
pads. I mean, just reminding folks, you know.
Yeah,
you
while
gotta
you're
put
there at your
everybody,
computer,
you know.
there's that census, right? So you're doing everything you can to get the word out, non-traditional types of advertisement.
Right. We also have questionnaire assistance centers that are open in almost every, if not every neighborhood. What that is there's an actual person stationed there with questionnaire. So if, let's say there's a language issue, a reading issue, you just don't understand what it is, you can actually walk in and someone is there who can help you with it. Okay, we have 59 languages so that we have guides. But we want to get everyone counted. That's one of the non-traditional ways of making sure everyone counts. And if you believe that you haven't received a census form, or maybe you're living in a residence where you think someone didn't include you in the census form, make sure that you go to our website and pull up the locations of the questionnaire assistance centers and just walk in.
Was it census.gov, www.census.gov? What about a number? If there's a number, 1-800 number, or either a local number?
I am not sure of the number. We know the number that we know by heart is the recruiting number.
Okay.
However, that number is, we're not recruiting now.
Right.
No problem.
And unfortunately,
That's
But if they
fine.
go
we
to
don't
the
have
website,
access. The website's got it
I'm
all.
quite sure they can find out through, you know, matter of fact, call us, you know.
Right.
Go
Or,
out.
you know, or
local
call us.
libraries,
Call
I'm
us.
sure that, you know, the census
Somebody
is out
has
there.
information.
Yes, Right.
So again, Monica, Dionne, thank you so very much. It's very
Cynthia,
important.
Anthony, thank you.
Hey, United Census 2010 is important. It's in our hands to be counted. So please, if you still have that form on the kitchen table, fill it out, complete it, drop it in the mail, and let's get counted so we can make sure everything that belongs to your community belongs to your community. For more information, you go to their website at www.2010census.gov.
And we'll be right back. Stay right there.